Hey everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. I want to do a video today on All Stars. So basically, the BOC season, the Ultimate War season has just ended, which essentially means that the um, this is no longer Ultimate War season, and All Star basically who's going to be an all-star is locked in. So the top 400 people in each continent will be in majors. The next 400 will be in Elite League, and then up to 1200 will be in Junior League. So uh, kind of a sad story. This season, I had been working on placing into the major league as I have the past couple seasons, and I had last season I actually did really well, but uh, last season the first three battlefields we had uh, we had we had some tough matchups, so we were losing, and due to the new battlefield rankings and battlefield scoring, where if you lose, you only get 60% of your points. Honestly, what do you guys think of that? I mean, I obviously have my feelings on it. I don't like it. I think that it promotes maybe not having the best people in Major League of All Stars and stuff like that. Because basically, if you get on the right team, you're doing you're able to uh, get get a lot of points. It does promote team play, which I do like, but I think part of the problem is that um, there's actually, I think Evany probably did this to try and prevent people from point trading and, people from, just splatting and whatnot. But I think actually what I've seen is the opposite. I actually saw more people try and point trade because they weren't able to get the points that they wanted, or they because you were getting 60% of your points, you needed so many more points, and so people needed some way to come up with the difference. So I actually don't think that this worked for what Evany is trying to do. And it'll be interesting to see kind of how the matchups are in the major league and stuff like that, to see if this ranking has addressed their problem, or in my opinion, I think it's going to make some of the people in the major league a little bit weaker. Uh, Obviously, congrats to all the people who made it into major league. It is a massive undertaking to get there. It's not easy to do unless you're like 50 billion power and you can get rallied and get enough points. Um, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not super keen on it. So yeah, back to what happened last season for me. It was really unfortunate. We through three rounds of Battlefield, I think I was ranked like 225th. I had 85,000 points. I was looking super great for Battlefield, for Major League Battlefield, and as you can see, my rank at the end is 415, so just missed the cutoff. And in fact, if we actually scroll down, my points were 85K, and if we look to the 400th place, you can see it takes a lot of scrolling to get down there. Um, you can see that almost there. You can see that it was like 87, 88K that was the last place. So unfortunately, I missed out by like 2 or 3K. But the reason was because unfortunately, my alliance didn't get signed up correctly on the last round, and so I scored 0 points. And so even though I had done really well, the previous rounds I was not able to make any points, and so I was, kind of waiting. I had basically a 25K lead over the 400th place going into the last round, but I knew I wasn't going to score any points, and so yeah, it was really unfortunate, and it wasn't honestly, like our the guy that was signing up for Battlefield fell asleep, and it was a whole thing. No one double checked that players had actually been picked and stuff like that. So it's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to trying for another dragon, especially the new dragon that's coming out. Um, I don't know if I've actually talked about this in a video yet, but there is a new dragon this All Stars. It is this one. I know that they've released the name and stuff, but it's not showing here. But this is basically a wall gen dragon, another wall gen dragon. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit better. But basically, I think this will allow people to do kind of cool things, especially for bigger players, to basically have like a more of a siege focused wall gen and more of a mount HP focused wall gen, or even some other ones. And then of course you get all the talents and active skills and stuff like that. So dragons are super super important still. But yeah, let's talk about some of the rest of the All Stars uh, rewards and stuff like that. Um, the so basically for Elite League and Junior League, really all you're looking to get, if we look at the Battlefield rewards, what you're mostly looking to get, even for first place, you do get the Imperial City, but it's not one with buffs. It's just the essentially the skin of it, but it does not actually have the buffs, which to me is kind of useless. So I don't really even care about placing first in Elite League. I mean, maybe I'll do really well. Hopefully, I'll do really well. For me, the important thing here is the Galaxy coins. So these Galaxy coins are you use them in the All Stars shop, which actually just refreshed. So we can take a look at that and show you all that you are going to be able to take in the next round, basically. So this will be until the next round of Battlefield All Stars opens. It's also kind of nice. You can kind of see a timer for, okay, when is the next All Stars going to be? Although that looks to be too long. Maybe they keep this the same in for 2 seasons or something like that. So basically, before this, there was this one, the Office General or the Office General chest, yeah, Officer General chest. You could get Layden for 150 Galaxy coins, and you could get the All-Star Battlefield Champion Castle. This one had no buffs, but was kind of a cool 2x2 actually, not a 3x3. And then you could also get the Holy Triumphal Castle, which was the first All-Star castle that they gave with buffs. We'll take a look at that one. But then this time they've added these two new rewards. You can get the Amaterasu dragon egg and the Ice Winter Castle. This Ice Winter Castle is actually kind of cool. One of the things is it gives you extra rally capacity if you have it on, but other than that, it's maybe not the best castle skin. But I do like that they're adding these older All Stars castles that you can get with the Galaxy coins, because for people who, I mean, there's a lot of people who didn't start playing by the time that these castles were released or those all stars were happening, and so it's kind of a cool way for newer servers to get those castles if they already have the eggs and they don't need anything else that's going on. And I also like that Evony is adding new stuff here, because I was a little bummed when the only egg here was Layden, because I already have Layden, and so it's great for people who don't. Layden is super super important, but I already have it, and so I was like, okay, well, what am I going to spend my coins on? I was thinking I would spend it on one of these castles, but now I actually really need this dragon egg. I'm still using the Norway Ridge for my ground general, which is it's okay, but it's not the best. And none of the actual stats are for ground. All you have are your refines and the talents. Um, but so yeah, let's quickly take a look at those castles. It'll be pretty easy because they're the first ones. So if we go into the champion, the first one here is the you basically get own to activate training capacity 1000. Cool. Maybe you're building T1s and you need extra training capacity. And then you use to activate all troops attack 10% on all phases of the game. So attacking, defending, whatever, reinforcing, marching, whatever. Um, Not super strong buffs, but you kind of expect that for the first castle that had buffs. In fact, I think this was the first castle overall that had buffs because it used to be that the only castles that had buffs were the All Stars reward castles. And so now they've added, of course, all of these ones that you can, buy. But the OG ones were were these ones. So let's look at the other one that they've offered, which is own to activate enemy troop defense -5%. That's kind of cool. That's on all phases of the game, of course. And then use to activate attacking mount troop and ground troop attack 5%, rally capacity 5%, and reinforcement capacity 5%. So it is a good castle. It's maybe not the best for any of those things, but it is a good castle. Particularly, it's good for mount and ground troop attack and that rally cap one. I think this one also had a rally capacity one is more of a ranged troop attack one. So I know some people use that when they're setting rallies, but that's also kind of an old one. So that one will probably be added next. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the new battlefield shop. The what was added there. The other battlefield rewards. Let's look at the major league because that's what a lot of people care about. And so basically, the total ranking rewards, you get this Imperial City and then Imperial City fragments. So it's kind of like what they had in the spending competitions where you can this is an upgradable castle. So basically if you get in the top 100, so if you make it to finals, you'll at least get this skin. But then the better that you do, the more that you can actually upgrade it. So let's take a look at the buffs. In-city troop attack 25%, reinforcing troop attack 16%, in-city troop HP 16%. So all defending stats. And even the owned activate skill, you can't actually see it, but I think it's enemy troop defense minus 10, but only when you're defending. So this is a very defensive focused keep. Um, so again, probably not going to be really used by a lot of the bigger players because they're more focused on the attacking. So then level 2, it basically goes up from 25 to 28, uh, 16 to 18, and 16 to 18 again for the last one. And then level 3, it'll go up to 30, 20, and 20. Um, I thought there was also an activatable skill. Let's take a quick look um, at the actual castle because I think that there is an upgradable skill. Man, there's getting to be so many castles. Yeah, so you can see that this is the one that you get for the Elite League. Uh, it's the same castle skin, but it doesn't actually have any of the buffs. But yeah, let's look at this. Okay, it doesn't actually have an activatable skill. It doesn't look like. Looks like it might have a collection, but yeah, not super excited about that. Um, yeah, so that's kind of uh, the main things that you're looking for. The dragon. So again, you can upgrade this Imperial City based on the fragments that you get. So first place gets 40, uh, basically uh, first 15 places. So you have to be on the winning team and in the top 15 of the winning team, and you'll get 40 fragments. So I'm assuming that gets you to level 3. And then 16 to 25 will give you 15 fragments. I'm assuming that gets you to level 2. Um, yep, and that gets to 50. So if you score in the top half of the finals, you'll get to level 2. And if you make it to finals, you'll get the city. And then the Galaxy coins in the Majors League are a bit different. The Basically they're high at the bottom, right? They're 50 at the bottom, and then it goes to 65 uh, at 201 to 300, mostly because you're not getting this dragon egg. And so they're trying to give you a benefit uh, to actually be able to get those dragon eggs in the battlefield shop because you didn't get one here. And so once you get the dragon egg, the galaxy coins go down quite a lot. So if you 101 to 200, so basically if you make semifinals but you don't advance, uh, you're getting the dragon egg, but you're only getting 10 galaxy coins. And then if you advance to finals, you get the city, the dragon egg, and then 15 galaxy coins. So not super a lot of galaxy coins. But then as you place better in finals, that's basically what you're fighting for in that finals is the galaxy coins. So the first place gets 50. So you 50 plus the egg. So that's kind of nice because I can get those old castle skins and everything like that. Um, but yeah, the dragon egg, you can get the new dragon. You can get the Kokian dragon or Ziz. But you can't actually get Amaterasu or Layden anymore. You have to buy those in the shop. So if you didn't get those already, you're actually shooting more for the Galaxy coins because the Dragon Egg will get you the new dragon, but it won't get you. I won't allow you to pick those anymore, which I think is kind of dumb. Like if you want to use your Dragon Egg for that, why should they prevent you from that? But whatever. That is what it is. Um, so that's kind of what all that All Stars is. All Stars will be next weekend, Saturday. I do plan on streaming, but because, again, unfortunately, I didn't make Major League because of, because of that kind of hiccup. I'll be in Elite League. Hopefully, I'll do quite well and advance and stuff like that to get more of those Galaxy coins and stuff like that. But I'm not going to be pressing quite as hard as I would in Major League. I'm not going to be healing a bunch. I'm not I'm gonna I basically made the decision that I'm not going to be you know pushing quite as much for All Stars, and I'm going to be focusing on buildings and stuff like that, so I can help out my team and place better in All Stars in the future. But I will be streaming the Elite League Battlefield, and then if I don't actually, advance in one of the stages, I might flip over to streaming the Major League just as a spectator. But I'm kind of hoping that I'll at least make it to finals in Elite Battlefield. I feel like my keep is fairly well built for what what Elite League is. There is a fairly big jump from Elite League to Major League. And one of the big differences between those two is that in Major League, most of the setters for alliances make major leagues, and so the people who have focused on rally capacity and stuff like that are mostly in Major League, and so in Elite League, the rallies tend to be just a lot smaller. And so, you might not be I'm actually honestly really curious to see how big some of the rallies are in major leagues these days. I think, some of the K44s and K45s, they're throwing, 70, 80, 80 million rallies, and last All Stars we were doing that as well, but that was a glitch. And so this time this will be a real 80 million rally or a real 75 million rally, and I'm really curious to see how people's defenses hold on that, especially the people who maybe haven't been in All Stars before, or at least in Major League before, and maybe got a little bit of that bump because their team was doing really well, and so they won every week, and so they didn't have the points subtracted from the loss, and so yeah, we'll see. That might be kind of crazy. I'm thinking that Elite League will still probably be kind of at the old major league level where it'll be probably around 50 million rallies, maybe 50 to 60, depending on who's there. And sometimes things happen, like for me, I didn't make major league. Not saying that I'm not like a someone who's going to be winning major league, but I'm a solid account for Major League, but for Elite League, I think there's the potential that there's some big accounts that have really really solid Warhols and stuff like that that maybe are throwing 60 million rallies or 70 million rallies or something like that. And I think that would be honestly a huge difference in the elite battlefield. So we'll kind of see what happens there. I would love it if you guys all tune into that. Um, and yeah, I'll kind of keep you updated on what's going on there and what's going on with the stream and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to talk through Battlefield, talk a little bit about the new matchup. I haven't seen anything different with the new matchup, that they said has come out. But the I also wanted to talk about what you guys all thought about the subtracting points from the losing team's personal scores, because they've always subtracted points from the losing team's team score, but they've never gone as far as subtracted it from the personal score, which affects, your rankings and stuff like that, your personal rankings. And so I'm curious what you guys think about that. Do you think that's a good change? Do you think that's a bad change? I know I gave my opinion, but you don't have to be influenced by my opinion. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on what else is going on with All Stars and some of the other events going on. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.